Okay, good morning, everyone. This is Ryan Hayes, once again with Engage121. I'm a product development manager. I'm joined by Jenny McDonald, our director of community and client engagement, here to answer your questions as we go through today's webinar. Today's webinar is going to be all about a new customer care module that we're launching. We're very excited about this. This customer care module brings a lot of different pieces together into one system that really takes your social media efforts to a social service place where you can really engage with your customers and stay on top of responding to them, managing things in real time, and reporting on your efforts. So what we're going to be looking at today is actually not in the application yet. We're giving you all a preview of what we'll be launching very soon. We're very excited about it. We want to give you a heads up because it is going to be visually a large change for you. So we want to make sure that you know what's coming and you have a good feeling of how you're going to use it when it is live in your account and you are starting to make use of it. I will point out again that we do keep the phone lines, the audio lines muted during these sessions. So if you do have any questions, please use the questions functionality in the GoToWebinar toolbar on the side of your screen there. And Jenny will be monitoring those, responding as we go through. Anything that we can't get to during the session, we'll be able to respond to you afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and start in the Engage 1-to-1 application. So what we're looking at here is a new version of Explore. So you can see that we're taking on the look and feel that we built into the home page, the new dashboard. And you'll see this look and feel continue to spread through the application as we bring more and more of these components up to date with newer features and integrating all of the different parts together so that you can move effectively between the different components while still feeling very comfortable in how you're interacting with the system. So the first thing I'll point out that is even though we have this very new look and feel, all of the existing Explore functionality that you're used to still exists. So right at the top of the screen, we can, helps if I can type, we can run a search, an ad hoc search on Explore, just like you do right now in Explore. You can see the different platforms that we're monitoring, and it's important as you're using social media to manage your customer care, your client service, and that type of thing. It's important to make sure that you're monitoring the entire picture. And so Engage does a very good does a very good job of bringing all of the different social platforms together, as well as bringing in things like blogs and forums, review sites. We have over 40 review sites in the system now, and bringing all that together in one place so that you can build one very powerful search and see a whole picture of what's being said out in the social verse. So if you don't know what's being said, you can't respond to it. So we want to make sure that you have that full picture to react to. So the existing functionality that you're used to is already here. You can use the basic search box up here. You can use the advanced search to build a more comprehensive search if you need to. And we have the geography filters that were already in the system, so you can filter on just things coming from the United States, just things coming from a particular state. However you want to drill down, we'll use any of the geographic information that's available through the various platforms to make sure that the results coming back for you are as targeted as possible. Additionally, you have a time period where you can say if you want to look at today, past 24 hours, or if you want to do a custom date range, you can set all this up like you do now in Explore. But so we'll just go ahead and run a search for the past month just for the keyword Engage 1-to-1. So we'll run that search, and at this point we're still searching that the social verse in real time. So we're running out and taking a look at what Twitter has, what Facebook has, what Google Plus has, all the review sites, etc., bringing all of those in. So all of the existing Explore functionality that you're used to is all still here. So if I want to take a look at what's coming in on Facebook versus Twitter, I can do all that. I can switch between the different platforms. I can still follow someone. So if someone comes up and I want to add them to my contacts, I can choose to follow them through either one of my attached Twitter accounts, or I can just add them to an identity without actually following them. That way I'm able to monitor them and keep an eye on what they're saying without actually following them, without actually letting them know. So you have all that functionality that already exists. We can still engage, we can still respond. So if I run a one-off search and I want to reply, I can choose the platform, the account I'm responding from. I can choose to favorite a tweet, one of those recent additions, any of the various things that I'm used to under Engage, and I still have access to all of my auto engagements that I can make use of. So that's running a search as you do now. Just a little bit different look. We've added things in like having the avatar pictures in here. I know a lot of you are more easily able to identify people because you're used to seeing the same avatar come up from them. When you're looking at names, it's a little bit harder. So we've added those avatars into Explore, so you're able to see that right off the bat. And I still have the quick report functionality, so I can say that's one I want to add to a quick report, that one is, and then I can click on quick report and create a report off of that. All that functionality stays the same. And then when I'm ready, when I've got the search built and I'm ready to go, I'll click on the gears here and I can save that search. I can choose if I want to set up an email alert for it. I can choose which platforms I want to search, however I want to set that up. So if I don't usually get relevant content from blogs and I don't want to be filtering through that while I'm doing all of my customer response activities, I can choose to deselect those. Now, a new feature that you're going to see, or a new option down at the bottom of the screen when saving a search, is assigning tags. So I can assign a default tag to this search and say I want anything that I create off of this search, any case that I create off of this search, to be tagged with a particular tag. So I can set up as many different tags as I'd like. Set one up for feature requests, set one up for product issues, for training issues, whatever, however I want to tag those. But that way, anything that I save coming out of this search, I'll always have that tag, which will make it very easy for me to find those cases, report on those cases, and filter through all of that, assign as necessary, just based on that tag that will automatically be assigned for me. So I'm not going to save this one right now because I already have one, but I'm going to go back to our new Explore list. So really the only thing that's staying the same as far as what you're used to in Explore is this first box up here. Now, instead of having your searches listed on the side, we've changed the way that we're managing saved searches. So normally you would have a saved search set up. You could set up emailers to come off of it. Every time that you clicked on it, we'd go out and run it and bring results in for you. Now, when you save a search, we're going to continually run that search in the background in real time, regardless of whether you're logged in or not. You're still going to be able to get email alerts off of it, but we're running that search continually throughout the day, regardless of whether you're in the system or not. So what comes along with that is we're able to do more detailed analysis on what's coming in because we're constantly staying on top of it. So things that you might be used to, like sentiment analysis, we're going to expand on that. So to illustrate that, I want to go ahead and start with this first search here, my Engage121 mentions. So when I choose Engage121 mentions, I've got my list of search results. I've got some additional fields here. I've got things like the tone being reflected. I've got things like tags. So I can tag a person independently of the post. So for example, if my friend Jack Monson is always causing trouble and I don't want anyone to engage him because he's just looking for a fight, I can choose to tag him as being a problem client or something along those lines. And as a firm, we can have our own guidelines for how we want to engage with people who are always looking for trouble. People who are trolls, for example. We'd be able to tag them, and that will stay in the system account-wide, so we'll always be able to quickly see a quick visual reference that that person is someone that we don't want to engage in their conversation, or that we're going to manage with it, whatever our standard standard protocol is. Additionally, I can always do things like engaging. I can reply to him. I can choose to use one of my auto engagements. All those standard features that are already there. One of the other new things that we've added in here, what you may already be used to in Listen, is we have a Mark as Read button. So if I'm coming through and I'm part of a team, for example, and we're all monitoring the same set of data, I want to see that it comes in, and I want to say that I've already read this. We don't have to take a look at it. So I can mark it as read, and it'll all be ready to go. So everyone who comes in and takes a look at it will see that that one's been read. They don't have to pay attention to it right now. But the big part that comes out of this is being able to create a case about this post. So for example, I've got a post from Jack Monson that I want to create a case for. So I'm going to click on Cases, and I've got a whole bunch of information and tools that are provided to me in this one screen. So I can do things like create a case and save it. I can assign it to someone. So I'm going to give it a name, and I'll say what company he's with if I have that information. We're building all of these tools so that you can, if you have another CRM system that you're working with that you want to integrate with all of your social actions, we're building all of these with kind of the standard fields that you would have there so that you can tie all of this together. So if you need to be able to export this information and bring it into other tools that you're using, we're going to give you the ability to do that. We just need to know what those tools are so that we can look at how we need to format the data for your particular tools. But we've built all this in a way that you have kind of standard case information available to you. Now, creating a case is one thing, but if I don't know how important that case is, then I don't know how quickly I need to respond to it, if I need to put it ahead of something else. So we've got a priority setting, so I can say that this is a medium priority case. I can say that I've already responded to him, so it's in process. I'm going to assign it to myself here, but I can also assign it to other people on my team. And we're automatically going to populate what the origin of that case was. Now, when I created the search, I already assigned a tag of my brands as being the default. So I'll see that my brands is already selected. But I may say that, okay, this one is related to my brands, but it's also related to an influencer. So I can choose to apply multiple tags to this case, and then I'll be able to filter and report on them in that manner. Additionally, in addition to creating the case, I can choose to I can respond to him to Jack right from the window. So I've got his most recent post here, the one that I've started the case about. I can write a response to him. I can choose which account I want to reply from. So maybe his mention was directed to our customer service account. But I don't want to actually respond from my customer service account. I want to respond from my user account, my customer care rep account. So I can choose from the options which account I actually want to respond to him from. But maybe I'm a low-level user on the account. I'm not too senior. I'm not quite ready to speak publicly on behalf of the company. So we can set up permissions just like we do for all of our other posting to say that as this low-level user, I'm only able to respond through auto engagements. So I click on auto engagements and it brings up my auto engagement library. I can take a quick review of what's in there and choose that that's the message I want to send to him. Check that one more time there. And choose that message to go out to him automatically. If I want to change it, I can go back and do it again. Let's go ahead and do another one here. So if I want to respond to this Engage121 tweet, I can go ahead and populate that right in there. If I want to go ahead and choose a different one, I can choose a different one. So as that low-level person, I'm creating this this response that can go out without approval. But in the case of that person, I can't edit this. But maybe I'm somewhere in the middle. I've been given the permission to create my own posts, but they have to go through my my supervisor before they actually go out. So I can start with an auto engagement, or I can change it to be whatever I like it to be, and then when I click submit, it'll go through to my my manager for their approval before it actually goes out. In addition, we're giving you tools like keeping a history of all of our interactions with that, all of the company's interactions with that particular social media user. So in this case, since this is my first interaction, I've got just the history of the most recent post because that's what started my case. Now, if I respond to the user, it will populate above that, and then when they respond to me, it'll populate above that, and so on and so forth. So I'll have a running history of all our interactions with that user. And that will stick. So when the next person on my account comes, and it's maybe 2 months down the road, and Engage121 has posted another post and that we're responding to, we'll see that continued history of all of our past interactions with that user. So we know how the last issue went, how the conversation went. If there's something that we can reference from a previous conversation to make them feel like they're talking to someone one-on-one instead of reaching out to a large organization. Make it more personal. See that history. Additionally, you can create notes on the case. Those notes will be logged for other users in your account to view, to be able to see what is being communicated internally about this case. The other thing that you'll notice on the right-hand side here is we have some charts on the case outcomes. So when I close a case, I'm going to be prompted for what the outcome of it was, whether it was a positive case, a neutral case, or a negative case outcome. And we'll be able to report on all of that. So we've got, in this case, on May 5th, we had 4 positive cases, four positive outcomes from cases. We had 4 neutral outcomes from cases, and we had 2 negative outcomes from cases. So I've got that charting there. I'll also have that charting and evaluate where we can filter it by what the tags are. So we'll filter on the ones that are my brands. We'll filter on the ones that are customers. We'll filter on the ones that are influencers, or maybe we'll filter by individual user. So I want to see how Joe's doing in comparison to Dave. However you want to set that up, we'll be able to provide all that filtering. In addition to the actual outcome of it, maybe we want to report on the response time. So we want to say how quickly we're responding to things. We can set thresholds and say that we want our goal for response time is within 2 hours, for example, within 4 hours, within 8 hours, however that is, and we'll color code the response time chart based on where we are meeting those goals. So we have instant visual cues for how we're doing. Now, creating a case will only do so much for you if you're not able to stay on top of the responses and communicating quickly back and forth with the client. So when you create a case, we have a whole case list here that you can see everything that's on the account, who it's assigned to, what the priority is, what the status of it, all of those sorts of things. Additionally, you'll be able to filter these on different tags, different users, different statuses, any of those sorts of things to see exactly what's going on and drill down to the cases that are most important to you. But if someone responds to me and I've got an open case with them, I want to know about it as soon as possible so that I can get back to them and continue that conversation immediately. So just like we have email alerts or text message alerts for posts that you need to approve or posts that you have pending, things along those lines, listen alerts, all of the different email alerts, system alerts that we have available. We'll also be giving you the ability to set up alerts for new activity on your cases, or a new case has been assigned to you. So you'll have those alerts. They'll show up in email or text message based on how you set it up, but they'll also show up in your planner and in your Connect one-to-one activity, just where you see, like where you see your approval notices. Additionally, we'll give you some visual cues when you're in your case log. So looking at my cases here, I can see a little eyeball that's here to choose which ones I want to view. Now, if I've got a case that has new activity on it, we're going to change that eyeball to be red so it identifies that that's new. And we'll push all the new ones, the ones with new activity, to the top of your list by default. So if I then choose one, we're going to reset that eyeball back to blue. I can take a look at that post. I can see what their most recent comment was in the thread and respond to it right there all in one place. So all those tools are being brought together in one area. So you can track the history, you can track your notes, you can have all of the relevant information you need all in one place, as well as being able to access those auto engagement libraries. We'll also note if there are new notes on a case by noting that on the right side of your case list and bringing that all together for you. So just like we have for you right now, there's no limit to the number of searches you can create. You can set up as many as you'd like, filtered however you like, tagged how you'd like to manage things that way. But one of the bigger things here with running these searches as saved searches and running them continually in the background is we're running them through an analytics package that is identifying what is being discussed in the post. So this is looking at something that's a general suggestion. So looking at the natural language processing on that, you see that it's saying you should step away. So that's pretty clearly that someone's making a suggestion here. We'll also see that, oh, so this is a cry for help. So I have someone who's saying, please help, I need training, I need help. And our team got back to this person immediately after this came through. But so we're automatically classifying this. I didn't have to do anything to set up this classification of cries for help. Just using the language in the post is enough to bring that in and analyze that that's what's being discussed. So as someone who's a rep on our account, I can look at that filtering automatically and drill down to see the things that are most relevant to me. So I've got all of that coming in and continually running in the background, continually being analyzed, continually being filtered, so that I have all of that available to me as I'm looking through my results. And I say, okay, we've already responded to that one, so I'm going to mark it as red. So the next person that comes in doesn't try to respond in. Just like we have the mark as red, we're also going to have a warning for you if someone has already started a case with that person. So if I click on cases and someone already has something pending for them, I'm going to have a message that comes up and tells me there's already a case pending for this user. Are you sure you want to continue creating this case? And we'll reference who has the open case and give you the option to view the open case before you go and create another one. Again, we want to limit the chance of duplication of efforts and make sure that you don't have 5 people that jump on responding to Andrew instantly. It's the person who picks it up first is the one who's going to manage that. So that's the change with how you view the Explore system. But this is just one part of the customer care module that we're preparing to launch. The next big part of this is what we're calling our customer care fanlet. So this will be available for anyone who's using Engage will be able to easily publish a fanlet that looks like this. So I defined the picture at the top of this. I defined what the different headings were. I've got 3 to choose from, and I've got 3 tabs to choose from, but I can make those be whatever I want. So maybe I don't want to say questions. I want to say, I want to say praises, and then I want to have comments and then complaints. However I want that to be worded, I can create that when I actually set this up. And then, so a user can ask a question here, and instantly that question will show up down in the tabs below, where all of my my clients who are here reviewing can look and comment on it and share their own information. So I may have a user who asks a question about where do I find the closest store, and I can have another customer who's there on the page, sees it pop up, and says, oh, well, you can find it over here. They can comment on this just like you would for if I was posting a status update. And in my regular timeline, I ask the question. I would be able to have my friends respond to it. Here, I can crowdsource that sort of reaction from my customers. So let's ask a question. And I'll submit that. And that's going to go into the queue down here. Now, the other thing you'll notice is that we bring up a recommended tab after you ask a question or enter a comment. And what we do under the recommended tab is we're going to show the user similar questions or comments to the thing that they just asked. So if I've got hundreds and hundreds of questions and comments here, this is going to show me things that are most relevant to the question that I just asked or the comment that I just made. So I can decide if that answers my question, then I can just go on my way. Otherwise, I can wait for someone to respond to it, and then the answer to my question will be there for others to see as they come along. But if you only see it here on Facebook, if you're only seeing these questions and comments on Facebook, then you've got to stay here on Facebook to monitor this all the time, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense and is certainly not the way that we at Engage121 look at the world. So what we're building now to coincide with the launch of customer care is a connection between this fanlet that we're looking at here and the Listen tab in your Engage121 account. So how we've got dedicated tabs like All and Mentions. If you have Tracker, you would have one for influencers. We're also going to have a dedicated tab for customer care. So any questions, comments that come in through your customer care fanlet will automatically get put into that customer care tab where you can respond directly from Engage. So again, you can have users on your account who are not admins on your Facebook page, but allow them to be able to respond and engage with your clients either through the review, through the approval chain that you already have in place, or directly without any sort of approval or permissions. But keeping all of that in Engage, where you can log it, where you can filter it, where you can have that audit trail of all of your interactions with your customers. What I don't have to show for you today, but will be coming in the very near future, is the same sort of case functionality that we just walked through and Explore being added into Listen, where you'll be able to create a case right from your Listen activity, just like you're going to be able to do with Explore as well. So all of that's coming soon. We're going to make that that functionality prolific through the application. But like I said, this is going to be a significant change and bringing a lot of different pieces together. So we do want to give you the chance to preview it and see what you're going to be working with in the very near future. The other thing about actually publishing the fanlet is that this is actually just a page object. So you can use it just like you would with any other page objects. So if I actually want to publish this, and maybe I want to have a YouTube video explaining what our company is about at the top, I have the option of doing that very easily. Or if I want to put something down below, I have the option of doing that very easily. All I do is I go into Speak, and then I'll choose Fanlets 2.0, choose the page and tab that I want to install this on, and I'll click Next, and then choose the type of layout that I want to use. In this case, I'll do a 2-panel. I've got the page objects here that I can select from, and in that library will be a new customer care page asset, or page object. So when I go to edit this, I'll be able to either select from a previous customer care that I've created. In this case, when I publish this, all of the questions and comments and anything that were on there before will be stored and continue to be available. So maybe I just wanted to change out the image at the top, but I want to leave everything else the same. We're going to give you the tools to do that. But if I want to create a new one from scratch, all I'm going to do is put in a name for the object, and then I'll choose a thumbnail icon to show up when someone likes a post. I'll choose the image to go at the top of the page, and I'll choose the names for those fields. And that icon at the top of the page, if we go back to the fanlet here and we look at the comments, you'll see that I've liked this comment about your coffee is the best. When I like that comment, it actually went out to my timeline. So if I look at my timeline, I see that I've got a comment that I liked, and that's available. That can be, all my friends can see that I like that. This is where that thumbnail image goes. Hopefully you'll have a better brand-related image than just a koala that I used for my test here. But this all links back to the page. So if I click on comments, either as myself or as one of my friends viewing this on my page, it's going to take me back there where now I can get involved with responding, asking questions, that sort of thing on in that customer care fanlet. So I'll go ahead and select the one that I had before so we can see how that looks in the page. So I've got it populated here. You can see again all of my my existing questions and comments stay there. And then maybe I want to put a YouTube video along with it. So I'll choose to add a page object down here, and then back up top I'll scroll to the end and choose YouTube. So now I have the YouTube object there where I can add a video to go along with my customer care fanlet. So all those things can be used together. Maybe I want to have a carousel of news in that page as well, and I want to update that continually. All those tools are going to be provided for you. No additional development or technical resources required. Just upload the assets that you want to use, and you're ready to build it right there in Speak. So all of those things are going to come together in one place where you can manage it all, review the mentions that are coming in, review and really complete your customer care tools through social media all in one place. And there was one thing that I skipped over a little bit earlier. I didn't call it out directly, but if I do have a case, maybe I've got open cases, we'll have a case list up here so I can jump into that anytime without actually creating a new one. So if I have a case here that this one sat static for a while and it's become more of an issue, so now I need to escalate this. So I can change the priority to be high priority, and I can change it to say that it needs to go to my manager or someone who specializes in that issue, instead of just a general customer relations person. So all of that for tracking and escalating cases as they come in will be very easy, all from that one screen that you'll be able to access at any point just by clicking on that little case list up top. Logging the notes will be viewable by everyone else on the account, and looking at that history and all that information will be available to anyone else on the account. And as we tag all of those, you'll be able to report on all of these various outcomes, cases, time open, cases closed, cases deleted, anything along those lines. So you have that full audit trail that you can slice and dice however you need to report on the most important things from your customer care perspective. So we're very excited to be able to put all of these pieces together and deliver them all to you. We think that this really takes a huge step forward in providing a real customer management system where you'll be able to track things and make sure that things don't fall through the cracks. Make sure that things are able to be escalated when needed. Keep all of those permissions in place so that you have the appropriate people designated to be able to speak publicly on behalf of the company. To be able to have people who have to have their posts reviewed and approved by someone who's more senior on the account, and have people who are just responding with general responses. So having those auto engagements available where we can have pre-approved, prepared responses ready and waiting to be sent out immediately. And taking that and really putting all of the different ways that you would want to respond to clients in one system, in one window, as simple as just clicking on cases and you're getting started. And you've got all of the information you need there. Add notes to the case, review the history, see what we've done with them in the past. So make sure that you've got the most important information, the most relevant information available to you before you type one word. Have it all right there so you make sure that your responses to your clients are the most relevant, that you're not overlapping other users' work, and that you're keeping everything quick and relevant to how you're responding to your clients. So we'll be expanding all of this, particularly the reporting side, shortly after launch. But all of these tools will be available. We're targeting the launch for early this coming week, and will be available in your accounts. You may notice in your accounts right now that on the right-hand side of the planner there is an open alert. We will be doing some database maintenance over the weekend in preparation for this. So you'll be able to, you'll see that notice. I'll go ahead and show you real quick what that looks like. But you'll see an alert over here in your planner about our system maintenance that will be going on this weekend. So we will be unavailable for a brief period of time while we do make all of those database updates. But we feel that obviously we're bringing a lot of different pieces together in a way that we think will be very powerful for you, our users, in your responses and management of your customer issues and questions. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to sit in as we preview everything that is coming in the very near future for you. I know that Jenny has been frantically typing away next to me, responding to questions. So hopefully she was able to get through everything that you had today. If not, we'll be happy to respond to those as needed. And obviously you can certainly reach out to your client experience team at any point with any questions. And you can always tweet us at Engage121 or find us on Facebook. and reach out to us that way, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. But we want to hear what you think. We think that we are giving you, we're bringing very powerful tools to the table, and so we definitely want to hear your thoughts on how you see that working for you, and what you think about what's coming. But I want to thank you all for again taking the time to sit in with us. And I wish you all a happy weekend, and look forward to big developments early next week.